Hello everyone, hola a todos, encantado por estar aquí. Now you can relax, this is my Spanish for the whole talk. Okay, so feature flags and how can they transform your development flows. Before I start, I'm Luis Oliveira. I'm a staff engineer at XGeeks. I worked with some of you over the years, and I try to do the best of my abilities to help teams ship safely and faster. You can find more information about me on my site and also ways to reach out. And like Katie said, it's not up to date. I'm not lazy. You heard her. I just procrastinate a little bit. So, why am I here? Why do I care? Here on stage, a little bit nervous, trying to convince you to use feature flags. A quick check, who uses feature flags right now? Okay, so there's a lot of potential for adoption. I think feature flags really help with the real-world messiness we face on our projects. Reality changes faster than release cycles. I had some speaker notes, but I will take two great talks we saw today to describe this. So, testing helps us sleep better at night. I think feature flags also help with that. And Paulina said, rewrite code is hard. I also think that feature flags also help with that. First, what is a feature flag? A feature flag is a runtime decision that changes app behavior. Basically, runtime control of behavior without the need for a redeploy. And sometimes we mix these two terms. Like deploy is different from release. Deploy is a technical term, meaning that you as a developer ship code to production. Release is more like a business product term. Your user sees some new feature. And this is important, to decouple these concepts, deploy from release. Also important is what feature flags are not. I believe many of you will reproduce some of the use cases I'm going to speak about using environment variables. I'm pretty sure we all been there, done that. Who here hasn't tried to change an environment variable on runtime? I tried, and it worked for magic. But okay, so environment variables are usually global. They are set their values on load time. To change their values, they require a redeploy. So this is a great way to configure our environment. On the other hand, feature flags, they change on runtime. They usually target some kind of condition, and they can be a lot of conditions different. They have an instant flip, and they can continuously change value. So they are great for release control. So joining the two things together, environment variables set the configuration of the environment. Feature flags help to change the behavior inside that environment. And that gives us some simple powers, but very powerful features. When it comes, for example, to pipelines, they give us the ability to merge early. That means that, especially in rewrites and large projects, you can keep merging code into production behind some work in progress flag, and your users only will be able to see it once you decide to release. That means that you can release safely. And like Murphy's Law, I guess, even when everything before failed, feature flags also give you the ability to recover instantly. As a last case scenario, they stop the propagation of the error. It's something that we don't want to get to that stage, but when we do, and we will, they give us that ability. So let's see some of the use cases I use feature flags for, and why I believe you can benefit from feature flags. So, progressive delivery. This means that you can have your new checkout version 2, you can release to 10% of your users. You can take a look at the errors. You don't have a spike in errors. Conversion rates are still the same. You even increase sales. Okay, so let's go back, okay. And let's go back again, thank you. So you release it to 50% of the users, everything's still fine, everything still looks good, so release it to everyone, 100%, and just clean up after. Next. This is like Murphy's Law. When things go wrong, feature flags give you that kill switch. It's not the best experience, but you can... Thank you, Eric. You are far too kind. What does this mean? This is usually for operation team or on-call teams, right? You have something that went wrong in production. What's the alternative to this? Is you need a quick fix, merge into main, and you really have to rush to it. So many times that quick fix will introduce another bug, and you were about to go to the movies, and you just stay there in front of your laptop. A kill switch at least stops propagation of the error and helps you explore or develop your fix a little bit more calmly, not with so much stress. So next, A/B tests and multivariant experiments. I used to work at Farfetch, maybe some of you know, like 5, 6 years ago, and I was on the A/B testing team, and we had hundreds of A/B tests in each page of the marketplace. And data is gold, right? So if you use experiment flags, A/B tests, they give you so much information about your users, your applications, and how they interact with each other, so that you can make better decisions going forward. For example, and this is a classic, every marketplace does this, you change the buy now button and really check what sells more. So it's not as easy as the color, but believe me, most marketplaces test the buy now button in many different ways. Personalization, targeting, meaning that you can serve different content according to the device or the region. In this case, you can serve something for iOS, something for Android. Access control, entitlements, this means that you can have a set of features or variations of the same feature for users in Europe or users in Australia, and they see a different set of features. Canary by cohort, meaning that if you have an application like what Apple does, where you have internal users, beta list users, regular users, you can use feature flags to manage the access that those users have to specific versions of your application. Regional compliance. So we're in Europe, we see cookies. Fortunately for those outside of Europe, you can release them of seeing those cookies, so you can use feature flags to comply to the local laws that you need to comply. And safe refactors, I already talked a little bit about this. Since you have the ability to merge early, you can integrate, you can do tests, you can integrate code from several teams, and then only when all signals are safe, you can hit the release button and test it. If it's stable, clean up after. Finally, cost control or feature throttling. I guess AI is into our lives nowadays, and you can see this behavior in many AI providers. When they get a spike on load, you see that either the latency increases, meaning that you get slow responses, or the quality downgrades. So feature flags allows you to do this. If you have an expensive path in your app, and the load increases over that path and you weren't ready to receive that load, you can throttle the system till the load comes back to normal. There's always good practices when it comes to feature flags, or basically anything that we do in our normal life. Set an owner and an expirer when creating a flag. Use some kind of categorization. Release, experiment, operations, permissions. This was created by Martin Fowler. I use this one, but you can use whatever makes sense for you. Clean up after you create a flag. Centralized access, so don't go sprinkling ifs everywhere. That will make rewrite harder. And observe. I think one of the biggest advantages that using feature flags can give you is data. You can really understand what your users are doing, how they are doing it, and how you can make better decisions going forward. It's not magic, so I'm here advocating that it can bring you a lot of benefits, but if you have a tiny project, a tiny team, maybe consider it twice before adopting it. Flags add overhead, and this is especially relevant when you're using AI. So AI-assisted development in a project with a lot of feature flags gets tricky because AI really likes a defined path to develop, and feature flags kind of break that path into multiple paths, and AI gets confused. I also get confused, but it's natural. If you're fine with environment variables, and if it works for you, that's fine. Just maybe in the future try to use feature flags. And if you don't expect to scale, just keep it simple. That's it. So this is a React conference. I had some code, but I don't have time, so I'm really quick going through it. In React, adopting feature flags, avoid Flickr. This usually preload hydrate defaults usually comes to use a context and a provider, and that's it. Keep all fallbacks healthy, meaning that you should have sane defaults, which means that you must cover every path possible in your flags. Wrap your access, a hook, use feature flag hook, or something like that with a provider. And finally, I don't know, I watched Mateus, but I still think that you can memoize things in React. So memoize flag values to avoid unnecessary re-renders. And my timing is red. Thank you very much. Thank you. I still have 40 seconds, so I would like just to be here for me is like winning an award. So I would like to thank my fellow speakers for the awesome support. Nashu and Victoria, thank you for having me, for the opportunity. Wait, I still have 20 seconds. So I'd like to thank Joanna. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She challenged me to do this kind of stuff. And 10 seconds, I'd like to thank all of you. You made a part of a very special moment for me. Thank you all.